channel. It's your resident brown skin girl back again with another video. So as I mentioned in part 1 of this 2-part video series, shall we call it, today I'll be speaking on the current contraceptive method that I'm using, why I'm using it, side effects, what is it, how does it work, do I recommend it. I mean, obviously I'm not a doctor, but I'm someone who's got it in me right now.
Okay.
Yeah. The first thing I want to discuss is what is it. So I am on the Copper IUD, or some of us may know it as the loop. So why I'm on this contraceptive is obviously because it's non-hormonal. So what is it? So it's a small device, guys. It's so tiny. When I was reading up on it, I thought it was huge. When you're looking at it, you're like, oh my word, it's probably going to be so big, it's probably going to cause such discomfort. No, it's tiny. I'll get the exact centimeters of how big it is and I'll place it on the screen around here. It's tiny. It's this tiny device that it's plastic and it has copper wire around it, and what they do is they take this device and they place it in your uterus, and then the thread comes out through the cervix to the vagina. Okay guys, so we've discussed what the copper IUD is, so now we're going to speak about how it works. So the copper, because it's a foreign body, it's toxic to the egg and the sperm, which means the sperm is unable, or it's difficult for the sperm to fertilize the egg. But should the egg get fertilized, another thing that the copper IUD does is it changes the lining of your uterus, which makes it very difficult for the uterus to then support a fertilized egg. A question that I get a lot from close friends is, was it painful to insert? I wouldn't describe it as painful, but I would describe it as discomfort. Maybe from, I don't know, from a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of discomfort, I would place it at a 6, but I wouldn't describe it as pain. I wouldn't be like, oh my word, I'm in so much pain. No, it was just like discomfort. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I'd explain it as discomfort, not like a sharp shooting pain that you absolutely cannot stand. No, there was definitely discomfort, but and it's difficult because as soon as you feel discomfort, you tense up, which makes it difficult for whoever's inserting it, the doctor or the nurse, whoever's inserting it, to insert it. So they need you to relax. And another thing that the nurse told me when she was inserting it is that it's great that I came just as my periods ended, because it makes it easier, because the cervix is a little more opened up around those times. So she said it made it a bit easier. But yes, definitely there was a level of discomfort, but nothing you can't handle. It's not like a sharp shooting, excruciating pain. No, it was just discomfort when she's placing it. And the more relaxed you are, the faster the procedure goes and it's done. Okay, so that's the inserting it. Now I want to speak about the side effects. I can't speak on all the side effects. I'm going to speak about the side effects that I experienced. Right after I inserted the copper IUD, I started getting cramps. No, I won't lie. The cramps were, oh, I just bit myself.
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
The cramps were pretty bad. Like the cramps on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna place those bad boys at like an 8. No, the cramps were bad. I took paracetamol. I chilled. I didn't know whether to sit, to stand up, to lie on the floor, to call my mom, to call my man. I didn't know. Like, I was in quite a bit of pain, but it lasted just that one day. And then afterwards, the pain went away. Another thing that I experienced is I started spotting. And then, if I'm not mistaken, I just started my periods again. Basically, that's what happened. I had just finished my periods, inserted the IUD, had cramps, started spotting, but then the spotting just turned into my periods. So I basically had my periods again. My flow was quite heavy. I can't necessarily attest it to the IUD because remember, I was on warfarin, which is a blood thinner, which on its own had increased my flow. So I don't know if the IUD made it worse or if it was just the fact that I was on warfarin. Another thing I experienced is I do get cramps, but they're never like really bad. But as soon as I inserted the IUD for about 3 months, every time I was going to get my period, I got quite severe cramps. But it was like for 2 or 3 months, and then after that I was fine. Yeah, so those are the side effects that I experienced with the IUD. Would I recommend it? Listen, Linda. It's basically what you're hoping to achieve from a contraceptive. Obviously, they're long term. I have inserted the 5-year copper IUD. So if you want something long term, I would recommend it. If you don't want to have to worry about taking a pill or going for your next day to receive your injection, I would recommend it. If you want to avoid hormones, I would recommend it because it's non-hormonal. Um, yeah, so personally with my experience, other than, those first 2 rocky months, I would definitely recommend the copper IUD. Obviously, it's up to you. What are you trying to achieve with the contraceptive? Another reason why I'd recommend it is the nurse did let me know that unlike hormones, sometimes with hormones when you want to fall pregnant and you stop them, you have to wait a while, just like so your system gets back to where it was. But with the copper IUD, as soon as you remove it, you're good to go. You're good to go. So yeah, guys, I definitely say I recommend the Copper IUD. I think I've covered most things. I'm trying to think what else I wanted to speak on in terms of another thing that I wanted to speak about is the nurse that was inserting the IUD for me said that I shouldn't be able to feel the string and nor should my partner. So if your partner is feeling the string, then she recommended that I come back to her and just check that it's still properly inserted because it could be an indication that it has moved. So if you're experiencing anything like that, you should probably go check that it's still in place. Another thing is to make sure that after six weeks, you go back to check that everything's still good, it's still in place. And yeah, I think I've covered most things. If you have any questions, you can definitely ask me. Yeah guys, thank you so much for watching my video. Please don't forget to comment, to like, and to subscribe, and most of all, share this video. I love you. There'll be more. Bye.